guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I just finished watching the final episode of Ahsoka. My reaction will be under my YouTube memberships. If you are new here, you do not know what that is. It's just a few special perks for members only. I've got 2 levels of memberships over there. Level 1 is for $2.99 and you get priority replies from me, special polls, and soon to come live streams. And level 2 is for $4.99 and you get everything the level 1 has, plus you get all of my reactions to all of the shows I watch, any movies I watch, and all of my uncut try not to laughs. This was a really good episode. Now, if there was anything that I probably didn't cover, or maybe I didn't grasp, I'm all new to this stuff, so if I miss something, forgive me. But anyway, so in this episode, we first see that it looks like Morgan got, I wouldn't say she got initiated, but it looks like I wouldn't say that she got initiated, but they gave her...
Damn it!
The way that these witches...
Damn it, Bobby! Sorry, I'm just saying.
The way that...
I didn't want to hear what you were saying. Don't worry, I ain't mess it up. They're gonna laugh.
Okay.
Don't wave me off. I'll stay in here.
Anyway, before I lose my thought, these witches were so creepy, especially like the main one. The way that she sounded, like these. I don't know. I saw something and I meant to do a reaction on it, but they were talking about. They were getting in deep with these witches. I don't know too much about them at all. So it looks like she kind of got the power of shadows or something like that. So they gave her a sword. And all of a sudden her eyes went black and she got like these powers. And I'm just like, oh, that whole situation creeped me out a little bit. I was just like, oh, I don't like that. But anyway, so... Ezra was trying to make a lightsaber and he was talking with Hu Yang, and they were going back and forth about how, you know, Hu Yang used to do the lightsabers for everyone before he was even born. So as they're talking, he found out that Kanan was Ezra's mentor. I'm not quite sure who that is, but it meant something. And Hu Yang was telling him how, oh yeah, I taught him to make a lightsaber. So that was kind of like a sweet moment. And he had like these parts where he was like, I had 2 of them and one of them was for him in case he needed another one, but he had it still available and he gave it to Ezra, which I thought was really meaningful, considering that that was his mentor and he's making a lightsaber. So it's kind of like, you know, part of him is with him, I guess. Now Sabina's listening to this whole conversation. I guess she kind of feels bad that maybe she's not giving herself enough grace. Maybe I feel like she feels like she's not enough of an apprentice to Ahsoka. She is not... She doesn't seem like she feels like she's doing a good job. You know, her situation with Ahsoka was kind of messed up because she feels Ahsoka left her. And so they're having this conversation or whatever, and then all of a sudden she kind of just disappears. So anyway, Hu Yang was talking to Ezra about what happened back when the war went down, and he told Ezra that, you know, Sabine lost her family, and Ahsoka felt like she was going to be dangerous if she continued to mentor her, which is why she didn't finish getting trained. So that was kind of like a little, oh shoot, like wow, like that's how Ahsoka felt. But anyway, so as they're all on the ship and everything, the Jedi ship they were traveling off, and then they got attacked by Thrawn and his people after Morgan got, I don't know, her shadow sword or whatever it was. So it ended up going down, and excuse me. In the meantime, now Thrawn wants to take all of them out while they're on the ground, because now that the ship is down, they're going to be on foot. So Thrawn thinks that it's going to be easier to get to Ahsoka, right? So he's standing there. He was like, there's no negotiations with the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker, you know, and it seemed like it was a part where that was kind of like a meaningful statement in that moment. So as they're on their animals making their way to the front door of Thrawn's ship or wherever I don't know if it's the hyperspace ship or whatever it is that's called. So now at this point, they're trying to rush to the door, and all three of them are trying to use the Force to open the door. So at some point, they get to the door, they open it, they go right through, right in the nick of time, and now they're in. So now while they're in there, they're being attacked by the bad guys that look like, correct me if I'm wrong, but they look like they're stormtroopers, but I know they're not. They're bad guys. Are they stormtroopers? Y'all know I don't, you know, excuse me, but anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about. The bad guys, Thrawn's soldiers, right? So they're attacking them left and right, left and right, left and right. They're getting them too. And so once they're all down, I was like, oh shoot, like they took them all down. And it was a cool fight scene too. It was really, really cool. So then the witches, they start doing their thing, and these freaking soldiers start coming back to life, but they're not dying now. So now they have, I guess, whatever they gave Morgan, they have that in them. So they've summoned that in all of the soldiers. So now they're going after Ahsoka, Ezra, and Sabine. So now they're running until they get, I forgot, they're getting to all these doors that they're blocking. Meanwhile, Thrawn is getting agitated because Ahsoka is just fighting her way through everything. So, now they get up and they get to where Morgan is. So now I'm just sitting here like, oh shoot, like what's about to go down? So Ahsoka ends up fighting her while Ezra and Sabine go off to stop Thrawn. And I didn't know which way this fight was gonna go, but this was crazy. This was crazy because I thought that Morgan was gonna have like this super duper power, but she has this sword that has this thing on it. Okay, you know when you play at Elden Ring, it has some sort of summoning thing on the sword or whatever. I think I'm thinking of the right thing. That's kind of what she had in her sword. That's kind of what her sword looked like. But they're going at it. Ahsoka's going at it. Meanwhile, Ezra and Sabine are off to go find Thrawn. She's fighting. So the whole fight scene goes on. And now Ezra and Sabine are fighting these soldiers. So now they're fighting them to the point where now Ezra and Sabine are in trouble because their backs are against the wall. And at this point, one of them has Sabine up in the air, and she doesn't have her lightsaber on her. So she finally uses the Force to grab her lightsaber. And that was such a dope moment because I'm like, man, finally, like she got it. Because after talking with Ahsoka told her it's not just about having a lightsaber. You have to trust the Force. You have to train your mind. You have to, literally everything has to connect. So she did it. And I was like, oh shoot. And then Ezra was able to help himself. And that was just pretty dope. That was just a dope moment. So after that, there was something else that Sabine did. It wasn't just the lightsaber. Oh my god, I'm having a brain fart. She does something else with the Force. She grabs her lightsaber, and I think at some point she either pushes one of them away. She does something. I totally forgot. I'm like having a brain fart. But anyway, so there's that. So they got out of there. Ahsoka is still fighting Morgan until she gets to a point where she kills her, I think with her own sword. That was pretty badass, the way that she did that. Because initially, I think Morgan knocked one of her lightsabers out of her hand. So somehow she ended up grabbing not only her lightsaber, not the one that fell, but she had the one in her hand. But then she ended up um, grabbing the sword, and she got her. And I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. So that was a cool scene. So then finally, Ezra and Sabine try to jump on Thrawn's ship. Ezra goes first, but Ezra, they had this crazy idea. Like, there was a long gap at this point. And I'm just like, oh, they're not going to make it. Something's going to go wrong. Because here goes Sabine, trust me, trust me, trust me. And Ezra's like, I don't know. And in my mind, I'm like, Sabine doesn't have a perfect track record. I'm like, I don't know if they should jump off this cliff right now. But Ezra ended up making it. Oh, that's what it was. So Ezra jumped off the cliff, but he was short. So he was going to fall down. And Sabine immediately used her force and literally like pushed him onto the ship. And I was just like, oh, y'all see, y'all gotta be a member so you can see my reaction to that part. So that was Sabine's highlight right there, is the way that she used that force for the lightsaber and the way that she helped Ezra get on that ship. So then she ran off to go help Ahsoka. At this point, I'm like, man, what's gonna happen with Ezra? And I'm like, I guess he's going home, but what's gonna happen then? So Huyang ended up fixing the ship, but Ahsoka and Sabine were fighting the bad guys off until they got on the ship. So I thought they were jumping off the cliff, but they jumped off to jump on the ship. So, um, so in the midst of all this happening, you see the chick with the blonde hair. What is her name? Shin something. I keep forgetting her name, but she's on her animal on a cliff holding her lightsaber. So I guess she's joining those bad mercenaries or whatever. So that's her spot. Balin is on top of a cliff with his cape flapping, looking at some statues that kind of look like him, but I don't know who they are. Ezra ended up going home. Now, he was on the ship and he ended up getting to where what's her name? I was gonna say Helena. Helena is not her name. But anyway, he ended up getting home, but he was in like the bad guy suit, like the stormtrooper type of thing. He came off and they were ready to kill him, but then he took his helmet off and he was just like, I'm home. So everybody saw Ezra. And then so Sabine and Ahsoka stayed on the land that they were at with the little turtle looking animals, which sound so freaking cute. I can't get over how cute they sound. Um, but they ended up staying there, and I guess this is kind of like their new chapter. They didn't go home. Their ship, they were trying to go after Thrawn's ship, but Thrawn, he finalized everything by saying, oh, what did he say? He said, welcome to the new empire, or something like that. So it was one of those Thrawn moments. So he escaped. They couldn't catch him. He was talking junk a little bit to Ahsoka. So then Ahsoka and Sabine stayed on land. And it was basically time for them to just move on, move forward or whatever. I mean, it is what it is at this point. There was no post-credit scene or anything. I'm hoping that they come back with a season 2. But they were both kind of looking up at the sky. And there was a moment where Ahsoka saw a white owl. I can only assume that that was a sign from Anakin that he was watching her, because the way that she looked at the owl and then she kind of looked away and she kind of was just like, In my mind, I feel like that's probably what that was. Unless I'm missing something, unless I'm correct and I don't know, y'all can tell me. But, they're both looking at the sky once night falls. And at one point, Sabine looks in the air and she's kind of like feeling something. Like she just doesn't know what it is. She felt like she saw shadows or something. Then she walked away, but then Ahsoka kind of looked up and she felt something too. And then the episode ended with them two kind of walking back into the little huts or whatever, and Anakin is in the sky, kind of like looking like a proud dad. And I thought that that was a pretty cool way to end the episode and the season. So there's much more to do here. I am sure that they are going to hopefully come back with a season 2 because Thrawn escaped with the witches. There's that. Ezra is home now, officially. There's that. Um, Ahsoka and Sabine are still on land or whatever, wherever they're at. There's that. So now they still have to go after Thrawn because nothing else happened. You know what I mean? Nothing apocalyptic happened. So I can only assume that there is going to be a season 2. But I truly, truly, truly enjoyed this series. I really, really do. And somebody who is kind of new to the whole Star Wars world, just seeing who Ahsoka is, how she fought, learning more about her, um, you know, being able to see her kind of have her thoughts and moments with Anakin, that was just so cool. And the way that she just had this poise about her, but the strength about her too. So I really, look, to me, in my personal opinion, I had a great time watching this. I give it a 5 out of 5. Well, maybe, I mean, it probably wasn't perfect. So, 4.5 out of 5 toodles. And that's just because I'm new. I don't know if, I missed anything. I don't know if I was supposed to be more excited about things or not. I don't know. I just know that I really, really enjoyed this series. And I like the way that it ended. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. It kind of leaves the door open for a season 2. I'm hoping. We'll see. Leave your comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed my review for Ahsoka in the final episode. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it. What did you guys like about it? Didn't like? Do you want there to be a season 2? What do you guys rate this series? Do you feel that it did what it was supposed to do? Yeah, let me know down in the comment section down below. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!